Okay, in this video what I want to show is creating a program using Microsoft's Visual Studio. Just kind of review that for today. So what we'll do to begin, we'll open up Visual Studio and we're going to create a program called Information. And this program, as you follow along, I want you to use it in every one of your assignments. This will be a class you put in each one of your assignments, which gives me your name, the course number, instructor, the assignment, and the date. So we'll do that. So here's Visual Studio opened. We're going to do a new project. And this is a Visual C# project. And it's going to be a console application for now. And down here, I'm going to give it a name. And I'm going to call it, let's see, what should we call it? Information. Let's see, information program, or let's call it information app. Okay, now let me browse and figure out where I want to put it. And where I want to put it right now, let's see. I'm going to use my USB drive. It's 115 here, and I'm going to put it under projects. So I have a folder called projects where I have all my programs on. It's on a USB drive. So I'm going to select that folder. So I'm on K, Users, Robert, Documents, Visual Studio 2012, Projects. Okay, and I called it Information App. Everything looks okay. Now we'll wait while Visual Studio comes up. And as you recall, this normally comes up in a console application. Our namespace is Information App. That's what I called it. This is class Program. We can change this if we don't like the name Program. And of course, main, where the program starts. Void says it returns nothing. And static just means I don't have to create an object to use it. So what we want to do first off is I want to create a new class, and I want to call the class, let's see what I'll call the class. I'll call the class Info. So I'll go to Project, say Add Class, and right down here, let's give it a new name. Okay. Info. INFO. And we'll add. Now you see it comes up here, info.cs. That's our new class. It's still in the same namespace, Information App, but it's class info, and we have our curly braces here saying the class begins and ends here, and the namespace begins and ends here. So within this class, I want to create a method. It's going to be a public method. Since this is in a class, it has to be public so I can access it from somewhere else. Void. I am not going to return anything from it. And it's going to be called display info. Whoops. Let me move that. Display info. Now with display info, I will pass a parameter. This parameter is going to be a string, and it's going to be called current assignment. So anytime I call display info, I'm going to pass a string called current assignment. Now what I like to do here is put the curly braces underneath so I don't forget them. And first thing we'll do is we're going to create a string, and I'll call it barrier, and it's going to be equal to just the number of asterisks, and that's just to highlight the beginning and the end of what I'm going to display. So don't forget the semicolon afterwards. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to then begin with the console dot write line, which means write it to the display screen, and I'm going to write barrier. semicolon there. And in fact, what I may want to do is put a couple new lines there. So it'll skip after it does the barrier, a couple of lines. Next thing I want to do is print out my name. So again, council, right line, and I'm going to put out name. NAME, boom. And then we'll tab over a few spots, and then I'll put my name down. Here you would put your name, so I know whose assignment it is. And again, we'll do a semicolon. Now remember what the difference between right and right line is. Right will print out whatever's in the double quotes, and then the cursor will stay at the end of it. Right line, it'll print out what's in the double quotes and bring the cursor back to the next new line. So here it is, my name. The next thing I want to put in there is what course is this? So council, right line, course, and again, we'll just tab over a few spots just to make it look good, and we'll call it IT Dev 115, and we'll put a semicolon there. Then council right line, instructor, and let's see, we'll just have one tab to make it over. And here you just put my name, and it's spelled MENZL, semicolon, council, right line, and we're going to ask for the assignment. What is the assignment that I'm turning in? Whoops, not current assignment, as it put there, but assignment. And here we'll do another tab, and here we'll put current assignment. There we go. So what that does is the assignment name I passed down into here, it'll say assignment, like say your first assignment is baseball player. This would say baseball player, and pass it on down here. And finally, what I want is the date. But I want to print the date I'm running the program. So we'll put date, tab, and then what we're going to add is a command that will allow us to get the date. So we'll hit system dot. Now I want a date, so if I just kind of look here, let's see if I can find anything. Oh, here's some date. And let's see, what's the date time do? Let's see what it says. Let's see here. Instance and time typically expresses the date and time of day. And so that's what I want. I want the date and time of day. And where this actually gets it from is from the server of the computer. So I'll say date, time, dot. Now, what date time do I want? I probably want today. And it's get today. Notice this is a little wrench, which means it's a it's not a method, but it's a oh, my mind's gone blank. But anyway, we want to get it. So date time today, get the current date. It's a property. There we go. Today. And then finally, I don't want, if I get the date time date, it'll have the date and time. All I want is the date. And so if I look down here, let's see, to short date string converts the current date time object to just the date. So say, yep, that's what I want, to short date string. And just have to put that there because it's a method. So within the system namespace. I have a class called datetime, and I have a method called today.toShortDateString, which gives me the current date given from the server. Okay. Then I'll put another border on here, so console.WriteLine. And to begin with, we'll do a few and barrier. Whoops. Barrier. That should be console.WriteLine. Okay. So there is our whole display info method. It's going to put down this little barrier, put your name, course number, my name as the instructor, what the assignment is, and the date given from the server, then puts another little barrier down here. Now to run it, what we have to do is create an object. So, let's see. We call it an info, so it's a class info. And what shall we call the object? Let's call it my info. New class info. Boom. And what this says is my info is an object of type info, and this is the constructor. New is just the word we use it, and the constructor says we're going to use the default constructor. So now we'll run it. My info dot display info, and that's the method I want to bring up. And we're going to pass to it. It needs a string, so we'll pass to it a test assignment. And actually, let's put it. Should put it in double quotes. A test assignment. Okay, and then we'll put our little semicolon there. And don't forget to put the console read key or read line or whatever to stop the program so it doesn't just open and close. And now let's just hit start to run it. And there it is. My name, course, instructor, test assignment, and the date. And then your program would start from here. So again, I want you to put that at the beginning of each one of your assignments. Just add a class, do these 2 steps, copy in the info class to do it. And just to let you know, if you bring up Blackboard and look under course documents, at the very bottom, there's class programs. And if you look in there, the info program, which I was just working on, is already put in there. So if you want to look at it in a little more detail, there it is. Again, this is your name, whatever. I guess we're in 115, 501. So this wouldn't be 002, would be 501. My name, the assignment, and so on and so forth. If you have any questions, just go to discussion board, put the questions there. I just want to make sure you understand this. You got how to create a new class, how to write a short program, just a review, get rid of some of the cobwebs from the summer. So again, want this at the beginning of every assignment. Thanks a lot.